For those of you who haven't had a chance to check out my original workout, Kraline, here's a preview. Kraline uses 4 basic leg positions, so let's start by learning those. The first position is the front leg position. You'll just bring your legs straight out in front of you, flexing through the toes, stabilizing knee stays bent as you sit those hips back, chest is tall, back remains nice and flat. The modification for this one is just to tap that heel down in the front, still sitting those hips back, stabilizing knee is bent. Moving on to the side leg position. As you lift that leg, the toes are still flexed, stabilizing knee stays bent, hips are back, chest is tall. You're welcome to bring this leg as high as your flexibility allows, but still keep that stabilizing knee bent, the hips back so the spine is nice and straight. The modification for this is to just tap the toes down, still sitting the hips back, stabilizing knee stays bent. Moving on to the partial rear leg position, start by just tapping the toes down behind you and then lifting them just a couple of inches off the ground. To get deeper into this position, lengthen the leg behind you, still keeping it close to the ground, and just bend into that front knee. Modification is just to tap the toes down behind you. Now moving on to the last leg position, the full rear leg position, up and away with that back leg, pointing the toes. I'm flexible enough to bring that leg parallel to the floor, but you don't need to come this high. Just work at your own level of flexibility. Chest is tall, back is nice and flat. So those are the 4 basic leg positions. Next, we're going to add some arm movements. The first exercise is a front leg position with bicep curl. Remember, keeping that stabilizing knee bent, chest is tall, back is nice and flat. Your elbows should be in tight for this bicep curl. I recommend doing 2 to 3 sets of 10 reps on each of these exercises. The next exercise I'm going to show is a side leg position with upright row. Making sure that your elbows come nice and high on that upright row as you pull the weights in toward your body. That side leg position, remember, just lift as high as your flexibility allows. Stabilizing knee always stays bent. Moving on to a partial rear leg position with high row. That back is nice and flat. And remember, on the partial rear leg position, toes just off the ground, front knee is bent. On your row, you're rowing directly into that chest as you squeeze your shoulder blades together. The last exercise I'll show you today is a full rear leg raise with a tricep kickback. So up and away with that back leg, elbow stays in nice and tight, and you're just moving through the forearm. Remember, your leg does not need to come as high as mine is, just bring it as high as your flexibility allows. So that completes our introduction to Kraline.